I'm 35, my biological age tested as 26, and honestly, I look and feel better now than I did 10 years ago. Here's what actually changed. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about something that I think a lot of women are afraid to say it out loud. I actually like my body more now than I did at 25 years old. Not because I figured out some secret, not because I found a magic supplement or a perfect diet, but because I stopped fighting my body and started actually listening to it. In this video, what my body looks like at 35 after years of competitive dancing and serious training, the specific things what I do single week. That changed everything. And the one number that surprised me the most when I tested my biological age. Let me be honest about what 25 looked like. At 25, I was thinner. Objectively, the number on the scale was lower, but I was also constantly tired, constantly trying to control everything I ate, and I had no real relationship with my body beyond how it looked in the mirror. And I didn't train with intention. I moved to look to a certain way, not to feel a certain way. And the result was a body that looked okay in photos and felt exhausted in real life. Now I'm 35, I've lost 4 kilograms in the last few months, but the number is the least interesting thing about what's happening to my body. What actually changed? My stomach is flat in a way it never was in my 20s. My posture is different. Years of ballroom dancing restructured how I carry myself. I have more muscle definition and I get more compliments on how I look now than I ever did at 25. 3 months ago, I did a biological test. The results came at 26. I'm 35. My body is functioning like it's 26. That number didn't happen by accident. It happened because of a very specific system that I've been building over the last 3 years. And I want to break it down for you today. Let me start with the movement piece because this is the foundation. 3 times a week, 2 hours each session, I'm at the gym. Not cardio, actual strength and resistance training. Because after 35, your metabolism slows, not dramatically, but noticeably. The only way to keep it moving is to build and maintain muscles. Muscles burns calories, even when you are not doing anything. Cardio doesn't do that. And on top of that, 2 dance rehearsals per week. 90 minutes each session, 90 minutes each of serious ballroom work. This is not recreational dancing. This is athletic training, footwork, body movement, connection, stamina. My heart rate during a full dance session is comparable to interval training. And once a week, my chiropractor, I've talked about this before, but I want to say it again clearly. Finding a good chiropractor changed everything for my recovery. Before, I needed a deep tissue massage twice a week just to function. Now, 15 minutes of alignment work once a week and my body resets completely. If you're training seriously and you haven't explored this, it's worth looking into. I also added stretching consistently about 6 months ago, not before training, after. When your muscles are warm, this is the piece most people skip and then wonder why their body feels stiff, totally weak movement. Roughly 8 to 10 hours of intentional physical work. That sounds like a lot, but it spreads across 7 days. And it's become the structure around which everything else in my life organizes. I want to spend a minute on something that is not glamorous but is possibly the most impactful change I made. Sleep. For years, I went to bed late, midnight, sometimes later. I'd wake up at 9 or 10 in the morning and still feel exhausted. I drink coffee, push through the afternoon, feel unproductive after sunset, and repeat. About 6 months ago, I bought Aurorine and started actually tracking my sleep data. What I saw was uncomfortable. I was sleeping 8 hours, but the quality was poor. Late bedtime meant I was missing the deep sleep window. That happens in the early part of the night. So I changed it. Bed at 10 p.m., wake at 7 a.m. The difference was immediate. Within 2 weeks, my energy was different. My cortisol levels normalized. I could feel it in how I handled the stress and how I recovered from training. I became genuinely productive in the morning instead of pretending to be. Here's what I've learned about myself. I'm a fire sign by nature. My energy peaks when the sun is high. The hours between 7 a.m. and 2 p.m. are when I do my best thinking, my best training, my best work. After sunset, I'm genuinely less effective. And once I stopped fighting that, I started building my schedule around it. Everything shifted. Sleep is not recovery from your day. Sleep is the foundation your entire day is the build on. I'm not going to give you a diet plan because I don't follow one. But I want to talk about what I've been doing with my gut health because the results have been noticeable. 3 months ago, I did a gut microbiome test. It maps the specific bacteria living in your digestive system and identifies what's thriving and what is missing. Based on those results, they created personalized capsules with a specific strain for my microbiome needed. I'm 1 month from finishing the protocol, and I can tell you honestly that something has changed, not dramatically, not overnight, but constantly. My digestion is smoother, my energy is more stable through the day. The bloating that I used to accept as normal has mostly disappeared. I also take a lot of supplements, vitamins, specific peptides that supports cellular recovery and metabolism. I'm not going to list everything here because what works for my body might not be what your body needs. But the principle is I treat my body like a system that needs specific inputs to perform, not like something to be punished in a certain shape. That shift in mindset from controlling my body to supporting it is probably the most important change I've made in the last 2 years. Before I get to my last thought, if you've ever watched my competition journey and you're curious about the dresses I wear on stage, I design and sell my own competition ballroom gowns at irinavibestar.com. Every dress you've seen me compete in, I created. Link is in the description. Here's what I want to say to anyone who is 35 or older and feels like their body is something working against them. It's not. Your body after 35 is different from your body at 25. That's real. The metabolism is slow. Yes. Recovery takes longer. Yes, you cannot eat the same way and expect the same results. But different doesn't mean worse. What I have now that I didn't have at 25 is knowledge. I know how my body responds to training. I know what it needs to recover. I know what sleep does to my hormones. I know that consistency over 6 months produces results that 2 weeks of extreme effort never could. At 25, I was guessing. At 35, I actually know. And that knowledge, combined with the discipline to act on it, produces a body that tests 9 years younger than its actual age. You don't need to start over. You need to start listening. If you want to follow what happened next, the competition in July, Burning Man in August, and everything I'm learning along the way, subscribe. I post every week. And I want to know, what's the one thing you've changed in the last year that made the biggest difference in how you feel? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. And I will see you in the next video. XOXO. Bye.